Alright. And that beat is funky. Yeah, I like that. Actually, my brother made that for me many years ago. Jake Wade, shout out. Yeah, that tune there is something that we call Across Himalayan Plains in a Sheath of Wolfskin. What that means, I don't know. But hey, we dug the title. There it is. Nice beat. Thanks a lot, Jake. That's your shout out. Let's do it. Alright, I'm going to welcome you to the very first episode of What Lonzo Thinks. Yeah, that's right. It's a podcast. And this is where I'm going to share my unsolicited thoughts, comments, concerns, and rhetoric with everybody out there. Whether you care to hear it or not, it's here for your consumption. People's been telling me for years now, man, come on my show, be on my podcast, do your own podcast. You know, you're opinionated, you're articulate, you know a lot of stuff. You think you know a lot of stuff. You're always saying you know this, you're always saying you know that. Put your money where your mouth is. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, finally, it's time for me to put up or shut up. So I can't shut up, so I'm putting up. So here it goes. Yeah, it's going to be a wide-ranging discussion. I'm going to share my views on pretty much anything and everything that's going out there in the world. I don't care what it is. You name it. Of course, politics, entertainment, sports, current events, you name it, astrophysics. You know, if I got an opinion on it, damn it, I'm going to share it. So it's unsolicited, unfiltered. I say what I think what I say. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. If you love it, great. Hit me up. Either way, your opinion matters. Share your thoughts with me, and I would definitely respect your thoughts. If I suck, tell me I suck. If I stink, tell me I stink. If I'm great, tell me I'm great. Either way, it won't swell my head up. I'm just going to say what I got to say, spit it, and come back with hopefully a new installment every day, every other day. Kind of depends how work allows. But either way, it's called What Lonzo Thinks. That's the title. I'm sticking with it. And let's jump into it. All right. Well, here it is. What's today's date? It is August 14th, 2017. And it was kind of a weird weekend, I guess. A lot of stuff happened. And we know what went down in Charlottesville. Everybody has an opinion on it. And, of course, I do too. So I'll be brief, but I'll jump right into it. Charlottesville. We've seen the videos. We kind of know what happened. There was a statue, I guess, in downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, which I think that is where the University of Virginia is, close by or in the proximity. So it's a small college type of an environment. Nobody's really said much about Charlottesville, Virginia until today, and now it's all over the news worldwide because of what happened. Anyways, there was a statue of Robert E. Lee, the famous Confederate general who of course, led the Confederacy forces during the Civil War, which thankfully the South lost and the North won. It was Robert E. Lee leading the South, and Ulysses Grant that led the Union forces. And of course, Grant accepted Lee's surrender, and those two guys are pretty much locked together throughout history. Some people, I guess, kind of view Ulysses as a hero and the General Lee as a loser. But down here in the South, General Lee is lionized, of course. He's synonymous with anything involving the Confederacy. So a lot of folks kind of respect that. They hold him in some sort of high regard. I don't, of course, but a lot of people do who we call them diehards or whatever, folks who support the Confederacy to this day and believe in what they stood for back then and hold some sort of I don't know the word I'm looking for, some sort of reverence for the old South and what it used to be. So anyways, there was a protest in regards to, I guess, taking down this statue because, of course, General Lee, he supported the Confederacy, which, of course, was a big deal when it comes to slavery and things of that nature. So a lot of folks have a lot of ambivalent feelings about General Lee, And I can see why having a statue of him up can be offensive to some people, where it could, be something that's, like I said, lionized by another group of people. Everybody has their own opinion on it, but they decided they wanted to take it down, and that sparked some protests by white supremacists, white nationalists, cracker-ass crackers, whatever you want to call them, who swear that that they are better than, that white folks are better than anybody else on the planet, or at least in America because they're white, which makes absolutely positively no sense. But hey, do what you do. I think we know better than that, and the time has come and gone to kind of get that out of your system. It's clear that your color of your skin does not make you better than anyone or lesser than anyone. I've said many a time, it's okay to be white. It's okay to be white and proud. It's just like it's okay to be black and proud, or Latino and proud, or Asian and proud, or whatever. You're not a bad person if you're white and you have white pride. Nothing wrong with that at all. The problem stems from when you're white, you're proud, and you believe in your heart that you are better or superior to others because you are white. That you're entitled to something more because you're white. That America belongs to you because you are white. That is the tipping point. That is what pisses off a lot of people, including me. I don't think any black person or any person of color, Indian, you name it, would feel any type of way about somebody having white pride, as long as it does not come with the caveat that you're white and superior to that person, me or whomever, simply because you're white. Get that through your head. Take that out of your statement, or take that out of your line of thinking, and I think that'll solve a lot of problems. It's okay to feel a type of way about anything. We all do. We all have our biases and prejudices and things of that nature. And we all, as a race, being black, we do see things in a different light than white people do, or Latino people do, and so on and so forth. I'm sure there are black people that think that they are better at certain things or superior to white folks in certain ways, and vice versa. Yeah, but that should not be a generalization across the entire race, that you get some sort of buffer because you were born with white skin. There's more to it than that. But when that becomes an ideology, that's where you fall short. That's where you have problems, and that's why things like what happened in Virginia continue to erupt in this country. As we well know, some idiot who has thrown his life away chose to drive his Dodge Challenger into a crowd of people, injuring dozens and killing, unfortunately, a young white woman. I forget her name. I think her name was Heather Heyer. Rest in peace, Heather. You did not deserve to die in the streets of Virginia over some nonsense like this. And it's tragic, and thoughts and prayers go out to you and your family, and the people that loved you, and the people that worked with you, and people that apparently just reading the newspapers and seeing stuff online and everything. She appeared to be a wonderful young lady who was treasured and had a lot to offer to society, and she was taken away needlessly because this guy decided to drive his car into a crowd of people who were protesting. Now, some folks say that his car was attacked before he drove into the crowd. Whatever. That does not make it all right. From what I can tell, it was a peaceful protest. Even if it wasn't a peaceful protest, that does not make it okay to drive your car into a crowd full of people. Period. If it's not a peaceful protest and you feel threatened in some way, get away from there. Call the police. Go to the authorities. Tell them that you need help, that you feel for your life or something. Now, I understand if you're being attacked and your life is in immediate jeopardy. I understand that. Do whatever you can to save yourself. I'm with you on that. But I've seen the videos from a billion different angles like everybody else. It does not appear that this guy was being attacked. It's something that was premeditated. He wanted to kill people. He wanted to get his 15 minutes of fame, a la Dylan Roof. And he did what he did. And now, not only are people injured, traumatized, a person is dead, but his life is also ruined as well, because this dude is not going to see the outside again. He'll be in jail for the rest of his life. He's like 20 years old, so I'm assuming the guy had some sort of a future planned out. His parents, his friends, loved ones, or whatever, all that's gone now because he made a bad decision, and now he's going to have to pay for it. So once again, a lot of folks have a lot of opinions about it. Across the board, it appears everyone's kind of coming down on the side of, yeah, it was wrong, condemning white supremacy and things of that nature. So if anything positive comes from it, it regalvanizes, for lack of a better term, people to stand together in the face of racism, white supremacy, and say, hey, enough is enough. It's not even, down political lines. You have conservative Republicans and you have liberals all coming together and saying the exact same thing, that this act was reprehensible, should have never happened, and the guy needs to be put away for life, and that these white supremacists simply need to go away. I will point out that the governor of Virginia, he really spoke well when he came forward and said that there's no place for you here. He made a very loud and vociferous statement denouncing what happened, and I really appreciated hearing that from him. Don't know much about him. I can't even remember his name right now. I should have wrote that down in my notes, but I didn't. So forgive me. I'll look it up sometime. But what his name is right now is kind of irrelevant. He may be a star going forward in the Democratic Party. He might have made a name for himself as far as any further political aspirations. But as of right now, let's not worry too much about what his name is, but by what he said and how he said it. The message was clear. It was direct. He pointed out what he needed to point out. He singled out those nationalists and supremacists and neo-Nazis, so on and so forth, and made his point clear that you guys need to basically get the hell on. You're not welcome in our city, in our state, in our town, in our county. You need to go somewhere with that. Go back to your compound and roll around in the mud or whatever it is that you guys do together, and burn crosses or whatever, and then make yourselves feel good, and leave us law-abiding, patriotic citizens the hell alone. Good for him. I'm glad he did that, because that dude in Washington didn't do that. And you know who I'm talking about? 45. I won't call him by name. 45. That's his name to me, is 45, because I do not respect the dude that lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Do not respect him at all. I'm not going to get too much into that on this particular subject. I'll just say that's for a whole different show. But as of right now, I just simply say he's 45. Got no respect for him. You can go to hell for what I care. Move on. But 45 did not issue any type of statement that we could sink our teeth into as a people to galvanize us to unite behind him, and if nothing else, improve his public persona, which is hard to do because he's so fucked up. But to improve, at least do something that gives us some reason to believe that there's some speck of decency in his body, and it just ain't there. It ain't there. Dude, the people around him that are advising him must be a group of bumbling idiots, because somebody on his team, somebody advising him had to have the forethought and the sensibility to say, hey, this is your opportunity to bridge the gap, to try to pull people together and say the right thing for once in your motherfucking life. But no, he didn't do it. He comes out and he issues this tacit statement saying that terrorism, or this act of violence, these protests are bad on many sides, not many sides. We don't have liberals driving their cars into KKK members or neo-Nazis or whatever. It's them doing it to us. It's them out there spitting that rhetoric, poisoning minds, is not us. So it's not on many sides. It's on their side. And you need to come out and say it. Alt-right, out of here. Neo-Nazis, out of here. White supremacists, out of here. Nationalists, out of here. Your time is up. Your time is up. You got your 15 minutes. Move on. But no. Instead, he issues this tacit statement that had no teeth and in no way brought us any closer together. And just now, probably about a half hour ago, I saw on the news feed, USA Today, he finally issued the statement that he should have issued 3 days ago. But now, it's too late. We ain't trying to hear it because we know it's not from the heart. All this backlash, we had everybody and their grandma coming on TV, coming online, in print, denouncing this. Republicans, Democrats alike, everybody. Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, those people, even Mike Pence issued a better statement than he did. And that's his vice president. We got Republicans calling him out saying, hey, you need to step up and you need to denounce these cats. And he just wouldn't do it. And I saw that sham of a press conference he gave where he walks off and refuses to answer the questions. These are direct and valid questions about domestic terrorism and about this act that should be denounced. And he just kept it moving and walked off. And it's just telling us as a people, if you're not white, you ain't right when it comes to this cat. And I mean, there is no way to kind of sugarcoat it. Dude, he accepted. He never distanced himself from the racists during the campaign. He knows that white fear and angst is what got him into the White House, and he's gonna ride that shit till the wheels fall off. It's just gonna happen. Just gonna happen. And the statement that he gave today, 3 days later, what it does is it satiates some people, but it also satiates the fringe right, because he's basically saying, because they know he's saying that because he has to, not because he believes it. That's the thing. That little 3-day buffer, gave him opportunity to kind of let it simmer a little bit and show the alt-right people that I'm with you, but I can't say it right now. I gotta let it fester a little bit, then I'll come out and say it, and that way it's clear that I'm saying this because I have to and not because I actually believe it. Because when you got people like David Duke coming out and saying the things that he said, that needed to be immediately addressed. It wasn't. So that dog and pony show that he put on today, as far as releasing, that statement and everything, I ain't trying to hear it. Go somewhere with that. I'm done with you. So that's my thought on, without getting a little bit, any deeper into Charlottesville. That's my thoughts so far. What do you think? Hit me up. Let me know. What Lonzo thinks at gmail.com. If you're on YouTube, you can subscribe, of course, or make your comments below, and also let me know what you think as well. Everybody who contacts me, I will contact you back directly. I don't care what time of day it is. If you hit me up, I'm going to hit you back. Once again, whatever you think, I'm with it. If I don't agree, I'll tell you I don't agree. I'm not going to argue with anyone. If you think I'm a racist bastard and I should never ever let my voice be heard again, say that too. I respect it. That's your opinion. Just don't say nothing about my mama. We good. All right. So we talked about Charlottesville a little bit, and obviously 45 and the alt-right and things of that nature. And that kind of brings me full circle back to another issue, and that is the issue of terrorism. Just to kind of get on that just a little bit more. If what happened in Charlottesville was perpetrated by a Muslim driving that car, then 45 would have been all over it. Just all over it. He would have went left on it. Not right, he'd have went left on him. And it would have been dude would have been all over the news, red-faced and pointing and with all this tough talk, like he had all this tough talk with about North Korea and everything. It would have been off the chain. And folks would have been in the streets trying to lynch every Muslim they saw, because it fuels their agenda. But when it's white people with committing these acts of basically domestic terrorism, whole different story. And once again, with this travel ban and immigration and everything, it just makes everybody look that much more stupid when it comes to these issues, because there's no consistency. It's hypocrisy. That's what it is. It's inconsistent hypocrisy, and there's no two ways around it. You can't be a little pregnant. Terrorism is terrorism, whether it's a Muslim perpetrating it or a white Anglo-Saxon male neo-Nazi motherfucker. Terrorism is terrorism. You got to call it what it is. He should be charged as a domestic terrorist, not for manslaughter, or not for second-degree murder, first-degree murder, and domestic terrorism. That's what it should be. And we need to root out, his homies, his buddies, whomever it was that he was with as well, because birds of a feather flock together. And all the folks should be put on terrorist watch lists. Your name doesn't have to be Muhammad to be a terrorist. We got plenty of them here. We got more than enough of them right here. Homegrown, born and bred. Gotta go. Alright, so I'm off that. And now, I'm gonna delve just a little bit into the sports world and how it kind of dovetails with what happened in Charlottesville. And of course, that's the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. Here we go again. Dude can't catch a break. Can't get signed to any team or anything because he's been blackballed for kneeling for the national anthem. The Baltimore Ravens came close to signing him. It appears that the head coach and the general manager, the head coach is John Harbaugh, and the general manager is a black dude, Ozzie Newsome. They wanted to sign him, but the owner of the Ravens, I think his name is Steve Biscotti, vetoed it because he didn't want the backlash that comes with possibly signing Colin Kaepernick for a silent, non-violent protest of just taking his knee during the national anthem. Come on. And now we got, once again, with the Charlottesville thing, it just kind of crystallizes what Colin was saying all along. That how can you support a flag when the country that's supposed to be there for all people ain't there for all people? When 45 is in the White House and he's catering to that radical fringe that continues to poison our society. Last time I checked, Colin Kaepernick ain't killed nobody. He ain't never drove his car into anybody's rally or anything. Dude, for all intents and purposes, is a hero because he sacrificed something that a lot of folks will not sacrifice. He sacrificed basically his whole career. Yeah, he's a millionaire. He's got a lot of money and everything. But, I think he's 28, 29 years old. He's got a lot of life ahead of him. That money that he's got, hopefully it'll last him the rest of his life. But it's not all about the money. It's about him pursuing, his vocation, which is football. And he's very good at it. And a lot of folks say, well, he's not that good. If he was good, then he would be on the team, so on and so forth. There are 32 teams in the NFL. 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Colin Kaepernick is not the 33rd best quarterback in the NFL. He's in that top 32. Period. Anyone who knows football knows that. Anyone who saw him play and show out on the field knows that. The dude went to two NFC championship games, went to one Super Bowl, played his ass off in the Super Bowl, came within 5 yards of winning it all. And no one with any kind of sense whatsoever or eyesight can ever say that Colin Kaepernick is not deserving of an opportunity to continue to play football. And what happened this weekend just crystallizes that even more, that he's standing up for the right thing. And I think in a way, what happened is going to benefit him a little bit, because now there's even more focus on the hypocrisy and on how he is being blackballed and ostracized. Just this past weekend, of course, a couple NFL players, Michael Bennett with the Seahawks and Marshawn Lynch with the Raiders, both sat for the national anthem. They didn't kneel, they sat. And of course they were identified, and the message is clear that this ain't going away. And I've said it online more than once, I'm gonna say it again. What I think should happen is, once all the rosters are set and the preseason is over, every single black professional football player should boycott game 1 of the regular season. Don't announce it until the day before or a couple days before. That way the teams don't have a chance to, have replacement players or anything like that. And show the NFL, which is predominantly black when it comes to the players, to the talent, the people that make it really go, is predominantly black, and show we do have power. That we're not going to stand for one of our own who is qualified to be here isn't, because of freedom of speech and him taking that platform by kneeling. It needs to be done. It has to be done. I know it won't happen because there's a lot of money at stake and guys don't want to jeopardize their careers, things of that nature. And the thing is, it won't jeopardize your career. If every single black football player refused to play, I'm not saying the whole season, one game. For one, there won't be no games at all that weekend. The networks will be livid. Advertisers and sponsors will be livid. Fans will be livid. Owners will be livid because they're losing a ton of money. The commissioner will be on the hot seat. Things will happen if that happens. That's the point. You got to show at some point that you got, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. I know it's a pun or it's a crazy metaphor because he kneeled, but now they need to stand for something. Stand in solidarity and say, hey, you can't do this to this brother. We ain't having it. We ain't playing with this. We're not going to play this game. And I dare you to cut me. I dare you to cut Russell Wilson. Okay? I dare you to cut Odell Beckham Jr., Julio Jones, people like that. I dare you to. It ain't happening. Okay? There's only one team in the NFL, I think, that has enough white players to field a team, and that's the New England Patriots. Probably not. They probably have enough black people. I mean, they probably don't. There's only one team that even have white players in the majority of the skill positions that really make an impact other than quarterback, and that's the Patriots. So 31 teams out of 32 are basically driven by the talent, 100% or 99% excluding the white quarterbacks, driven by the talent of black athletes. And they can shut the NFL the fuck down if they wanted to. Just don't show up for work on Sunday, the first Sunday of the season. Don't show up for work. Stay home, have a barbecue, and what they should do, they all should gather, have a barbecue at Obama's house, wherever Obama is, wherever compound that he's on. All the black NFL players should come together and have a barbecue on Sunday. Put it on TV. Have a DJ. Have Jay-Z come out and perform or whatever. Beyonce or whomever. Turn it into a party. Let's show the world, show America that we ain't having this shit. That's what I want to see. I would love to see it. And if you agree with me, let's get the word out there. I know Spike Lee has arranged for a protest, I think next week in New York at the NFL headquarters. It's a great start. It's going to get a lot of cameras out there and people talking about it. But let's keep it moving. I'm saying it right now. I know some other folks have said it as well. The black players need to boycott the NFL opening day. I think the beginning of the season, it starts, since it's the first, I think they usually start on Thursday. Yeah, they start on Thursday. Anyways, that first game, I think it's the Patriots and the Chiefs, as a matter of fact. That game needs to be boycotted, and throughout the whole first weekend, no black players should play, and that'll shut the whole weekend down, which is a great weekend. It's like a national holiday. Shut it down. Go find something else to do on that first weekend of pro football, and let's get that message out there, and let's let it be heard. And that is if Colin Kaepernick is not signed by somebody by the first game of the season, we ain't playing, because we know Colin got the talent to at least be a backup on somebody's team. We know he got a skill set to be a starter. He's proven it. He's proven it on the biggest stage against the best competition. He beat Tom Brady on national TV on a Sunday night in New England. Outplayed Tom Brady. Outplayed Aaron Rodgers multiple times. He went to Lambeau Field in January, frigid temperatures, didn't wear no gloves or sleeves. Went out there, balled out, beat the Packers at Lambeau Field. So don't tell me this guy ain't got the skill set to do it. He's been blackballed because of what he did, taking a knee, and it's time for that shit to stop. And once again, I'm saying it again, boycott the very first weekend of the NFL football season. Let's cost these folks hundreds of millions of dollars, and then they'll see it's 2017. It ain't 1950. We got power now. We got the fortitude to stand together as one and not put up with this nonsense anymore. Hell, all the black players go off and start a black league. I think everybody want to see that. I would. Because, face it, NFL Sundays, 99% of the players that you tune in to see are black players. The only white players that really have any significance in the NFL are the quarterbacks. Yeah, you got a couple defensive linemen like J.J. Watt, people like that. He's great. Obviously, you got offensive linemen. A lot of those guys are white. They're great at what they do. But nobody watches football to see all the offensive linemen. Nobody really watches football to see, a defensive end. They watch football to see the quarterback, the wide receivers, the running backs, and in some cases the linebackers, and of course the defensive backs like the Legion of Boom, people like that. But whenever you see the promos, they're always promoting the offensive players. Odell Beckham Jr., Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, people like that. That's what you pay to see. Cam Newton, folks like that. That's what you're paying to see. And most of those players are black. That drives the league. Without them, without black players, you basically have Yale versus Harvard out there. And nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to spend their Sunday afternoon watching a bunch of white guys run around playing football. It ain't entertaining, for one. They don't have the skill set for it across the board. And just think, if there's a black players league in the NFL, well, who you going to watch? You're going to watch the black players league. Because that's where the skills are. That's where the fun is. That's where the excitement is. That's where the skills are. So think about that. All right. So, once again, here we go. It's over. I'm done. Give me your thoughts, questions, comments, concerns. Once again, this will be on YouTube, so you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please do. I'm trying to get this thing going. Also, I have a Patreon page set up. Patreon is a site where, and it's an app also, where you can actually donate funds to help keep us creative people, like myself, keep us going, keep my show going. You can sign up and pledge whatever you want. I think mine is set up at like $3, $5, $10, or $50 or whatever. So you can choose whatever level you want to donate and help to keep this thing going. A lot of folks have asked me in the past to do a podcast, and I've been on a lot of people's shows as a guest and things of that nature, and they think I'm opinionated, that I think I have things to say, that I'm articulate, that I'm well read and able to share my thoughts in a cogent manner. So hopefully I've done that with my first episode here, and I will continue to do so. It's fun. I like doing it. As long as I got the time to do it, I will do it. I'll have a lot of different guests on my show moving forward. So I look forward to taking this journey with you. And once again, subscribe. Hit me up with your comments, comments, concerns. You can email me as well. Once again, the show is called What Lonzo Thinks. And the email is whatlonzothinks@gmail.com. Hit me up. I appreciate your time. And you've heard it. This is What Lonzo Thinks. Bye.